Starting. 1 second. Starting. And we're live.
Awesome. We are live.
Just getting the chat up. The Chizzy chat. Okay. What's up, everybody? Jumping in. We will get going here in just a little while. We're just going to simmer on our beers for a second until more people jump in. Let us know that you guys can hear us well. If there's anything lagging, let us know now so we can correct it before we start. Yeah, we rely on you guys to tell us that stuff. So,
What's up, Brandon? Phil?
What's up, Phil? What's up, Raymond? What's up, Kylan? What's that?
Grog, are you being muted right now, or are you on with us? Today's episode brought to you by Victoria, the good premier cerveza.
I wouldn't have even thought that was a cerveza. I would have said it was like a fucking like cream ale.
I thought it was like that. I thought it was a Coke can, and in the back it said, "I'm drinking this with Victoria."
Oh. Let's see. D-Meeks, what's up? What's up, Steven? How you doing?
What's up, Stevie?
I don't think you're not supposed to hear Grog. Grog is always silent until Grog comes in for certain things. He's going to be always playing the producer role. He'll jump in on like rating films and like doing stuff or whenever he feels partial to jumping in. But that's how it will be.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We keep Grog muted for your pleasure.
And if he talks back, he gets the fucking hose again.
Yep.
His hair just dried off from the last time he fucking.
Absolutely.
It sounds like everyone can hear us good. They were just concerned about not hearing you, and they didn't know why.
And Steve says, "Hello, friendos."
Hey, friendos. Let's see. We got 10 watching now. Think that's enough to get started?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, we want to welcome you to episode 8 of Hot Cheetos and Blood. Thank you for joining us this evening. We have some fun stuff coming up. I don't know. It should be a good time. I'm going to let Craig kind of do the intro of what we're going to do tonight. Everything was his choice for this episode. So take it away, Craig.
Okay. And as Dan mentioned, we definitely have a fun mix because we have 3 movies, one of which you might think doesn't belong, but as Larry said, it has Tom Savini, so it does. So we have Labyrinth, we have Perks of Being a Wallflower, and we have Spiderhole, which I'm hoping for Spiderhole. It's that little unknown treasure for some of you. And then for our challenge, we went the internet route, and the kid these days have been going crazy kicking capsule bottles, so we all put our own little spin on it and said, I don't have the spinning flip kick I used to, but we'll see how that turns out. But we are going to read off talking about Labyrinth, which maybe that's why you're all here on time, because who doesn't love that movie, right?
I kind of liked how you said we put our own spin on the bottle spin challenge.
Oh, that pun just came in perfectly. Yeah.
Touché.
So again, we want to thank you guys for joining us for this episode. I guess let's just jump right into it, right? What do you guys think?
Yep.
Craig, I guess, I don't know. Talk a little bit about Labyrinth. Maybe give like a pre-backstory or something like that. I don't know. Whatever you want to say.
Okay. I don't have as much of the pre-backstory stuff as Other than it's a Jim Henson Marvel, and the fact that David Bowie is in it makes it 100. Well, even better than it could, even better. But it's a movie that, on the surface, it's a lot of fun. Good, the puppeteering is great. It's dark as hell if you read beneath the surface at all, but I'm sure we'll all get into that a little bit later on. But I mean, I don't remember as an adult. There's not many movies I can look back on today and go, "Hey, it's a musical about puppets," and really be excited about it. You know what I mean? Like, I could probably count on, like, one finger the number of musicals with puppets that I'm excited about as an adult, and that would be the one. But the story
I thought
playing
you were going
out.
to say Banana Splits.
I haven't seen it yet. I have not seen Banana Splits yet. I intend to. I don't have the bootleg, the downloading thing, and I didn't want to pay the $20. So when it's rental available, I will watch it.
Mhm.
But you actually could give a little blurb on that movie later if you want, since I think you're the one who's seen it of the group.
Larry saw it too.
Ah,
Yeah, so we can talk about that.
So what do you fellas think, just initially, about Labyrinth?
Well, I know Darren is going to talk probably a long time about it, so let me go ahead and go. Yeah, Labyrinth. Of course, it's one of the movies, like I'm going to say, like we did last episode, Dark Crystal. Only I'm saying it's one of those movies that was more darker, that you still watched as a kid and you loved it, absolutely loved it. And when I first saw Labyrinth as a kid, I had no clue who David Bowie was. To me, he was just the Goblin King as a 5-year-old kid. The movie is amazing. For me, I think the reason that I've always really liked the movie, besides the fact that the movie is fucking amazing, is I'm one of the guys, everything that I love, even if the movie is shit, I'm big into the little creatures, little cool creatures. That's why, I love movies like Ghoulies and stuff, even though the movies aren't that damn great. It's the little creatures is what draws you to it. Something, fucking mystical, fucking, I don't know, just eye-catching about it. And especially when they're all different ones. That's the main thing for me about the movie. But what draws you to it. But just the story about the girl who has a little baby brother who she pretty much is forced to babysit when she wants her own life and do her own things. And she gets mad and talks about fucking the Goblin King taking her away because she's into all the mythical stuff. So, and come to find out it's true. And the Goblin King comes and she has to go on the journey and meet all these badass characters on the way to help her try to get her brother back before he turns into a goblin, I guess. And the story's, brilliantly told. Just every little thing about the movie, I don't know. It's a good movie. It's something that I can still watch today, and I'll sit down and watch the entire movie from front to finish without, getting bored with it. And every time you watch it, there's so much shit going on. You're always catching new stuff or thinking about stuff you might have forgot about or seeing stuff that you've never thought about. I love the movie. Ain't much I can say about it. If there should be nobody watching this that has never seen Labyrinth, so they should all know the main, synopsis of the movie and everything. But Darren, go ahead.
Craig,
Yes.
do you want to go in deeper?
One thing I wanted to mention, just as we're all talking about it, because I mentioned David Bowie, Ray mentioned David Bowie. I wanted to look it up to confirm it, but it's amazing. I can't imagine this movie without David Bowie, but there were so many people.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury, Mick Jagger, Prince, Michael Jackson.
Yep. But think about that time; they were all very flamboyant, like '80s, like that had the music ability. So it makes sense,
Absolutely, but the fact that now you look back and you think of any of those individuals other than David Bowie, and you can't wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
So it's like we got very lucky that Bowie was seemingly the one they wanted. Like, I didn't find it where somebody else said no. So of all the names, though, they had the who's who of rock back then.
Ralph, you know who I think would have been good at that part if he would have had the opportunity? Meatloaf. I think Meatloaf could be that crazy, wild, singing guy dancing around for that same time period. Because he's always he's when he wants to be, he's wild crazy. And when he was younger, now he just falls off stages.
He'd get out of breath real fast, though.
Yeah.
Was he ever svelte?
Huh?
Was he ever small, Meatloaf? I always remember him being a bigger
No,
guy.
no.
He was always a big guy.
He's always big.
It would have made it easier to catch him. He would have got up those stairs as quick.
All right, well, I could go on and on and on and on and on about Labyrinth. I really could. The first thing I will say is, just to start off, kind of go down the timeline of the movie, kind of like Larry did, because I feel like that's the only way I could really talk about it properly. So I would have to say, and what most people don't know about me, and I know I'm going to get made fun of for this one, but I'm actually super into plays and like poetry. And I feel like because I'm into those things, it kind of bridged from watching these movies like Labyrinth when I was a kid and seeing that that's kind of cool, right? Like I wanted to be in that fucking Labyrinth situation, like going through, meeting all the people. Ludo, best fucking character, like, I don't know. The whole way it played out with like the baby being captured by the owl, which was Jareth the whole time, and then just how it plays in, and then they go to the labyrinth and they meet Hoggle and the little fucking worm. It's just everything, even the like the little like nuances that happen in the movie that maybe don't have much structure or to the narrative, really do in their own way. And I think that the movie, as Craig was saying, like these people that could have been chosen for that role, nobody could have wore a fucking codpiece like David Bowie. There's no way. None of those guys would have pulled that off, the way it looked, the feel of it. And let's be honest, I think out of that whole group, David Bowie's definitely the most flamboyant. And an interesting fact, just because I don't want to forget about not really interesting fact, but I know we'll talk about when we talk about the next movie we're going to talk about. But interestingly, there was also a David Bowie piece of song in that movie. So, I don't know. I love Labyrinth. I always will. There's just so much coming back. And then when you watch Dark Crystal as well, the witch in Dark Crystal was also the old haggard woman in the clothing in Labyrinth. So like they reuse some of the same characters, and if you like Labyrinth, you're gonna like Dark Crystal. We just talked about Dark Crystal, obviously. So you can kind of see like now watching them both like kind of within the same short amount of time. I feel like, do you guys feel like Dark Crystal is raised a little bit more in your mind? Do you know what I'm saying? Not really.
I think it goes down. I'll be honest. I like Dark Crystal. I mean, I like Labyrinth so much. I think it actually, comparing it to Dark Crystal now, it's like, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't know, but Dark Crystal to me, it's always going to be a love of my life, and I don't know. I can't imagine it being done another way. I couldn't imagine if they even try to attempt to redo that fucking movie. They should never do that. You can never replace David Bowie that would make it the same. I can see why they're doing the TV show with Dark Crystal, because they can recreate those characters, but you can't recreate David Bowie. It's not going to happen. And anyone that tries, it would just fall flat. So, given the movie is great, 80s film, yeah, it's one of my top pieces.
Did you ever feel when you watch the movie, or do you ever think about like half the movie David Bowie's like literally trying to like make like a 14-year-old girl like his princess?
Yeah, he's seducing the shit out of her.
Yeah,
what the fuck? Dude, a young Jennifer Connelly, I used to have such a big crush on her, dude. Even as an adult, I still, like, when she was in Dark Water, like, I beat my dick to that movie, man. I fucking love Jennifer Connelly, especially, like, an old 50-year-old woman now.
2 words.
Prime.
Career opportunities. If you've not seen that movie.
Oh,
No, that was the one where she was, like, riding the horse and shoplifting. God bless America. I don't know. To some of the nuances Darren talked about, there's also things that you pick up, and this I talked about with Larry earlier today, that you don't get the first time. But there's 2 things that always stick out to me. One, that little worm is the biggest dick in the entire movie. Because, like, if she went that way, she would have went right to the castle. And then there you go. She wouldn't have to worry about anything. But the thing that always gave me a headache as a kid, and as an adult I could reason it, is those 2 door knockers. Like, she figured that out way too fast. Like I'm there, like young, and like if I asked him about you, what would he say about you? And then he'd say what? Wait, what? It's like in Die Hard with a Vengeance when they do that scene with the water bottles and the bombs, and like there's exactly 2.5. Wait, say it slow again. I missed that. What just happened there? I want to get one of those door knockers. Like they've been on Etsy,
Yeah, I've seen
but
them
they're too expensive. Too expensive.
Yeah.
For what they are. That'd be so cool to actually have on your house. Just to like, whoa.
Well, as you're talking about the pace of the film, I feel like the movie the whole way through, even that scene was it's just pace. But think about all the characters it took to make that movie, and all the fucking they probably had a warehouse filled. They probably didn't even use half the concept pieces they were going to use in that movie. So it's like they had to try to show as much as they could. So they had to keep moving, you know. And at the same time, when you say that, I think that the Jennifer Connelly, like she was into like the whole like poem thing and the riddles and like sonnets and shit like that. That she kind of like knew a good play on words. So maybe that made sense. Maybe that's what the underlying thing was supposed to be. I don't know.
That's true. But the one thing that we missed with the darkness, aside from Larry saying, yeah, he's trying to seduce a 14-year-old, and he's a couple hundred years old himself. But every one of those goblins were kids he abducted.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's a whole bunch of milk cartons just floating around down there. You know, like it's like what the saddest thing I ever saw with Labyrinth though is the Hoggle puppet. Somebody just threw it away in a bag, and it was found all rotted out and decayed, and they couldn't save it.
I know. That's fucking terrible. That piece should be in a museum. It should have been. It should have been. You know, I'm sure Jim Henson has some sort of memorial fucking museum that his family for him. That would have been such a standout piece.
Yeah, so terrible. What do you think about the bog of eternal stench?
I love it. I love when the bubbles fill up with the smoke and they pop. That's just so cool. That's another thing. It's all fucking practical.
Smell bad.
Smell bad.
Love
Ludo down. Yeah, oh man, just so much is going on with that movie.
All right, so what's your favorite part of the movie? Either one of y'all.
My favorite part of the movie is, I'll tell you my least favorite and my favorite. My least favorite part of the movie is when that fucking thing is in the tunnel. I think it's boring and slow paced, but then after she leaves from there, she talks to like the stone heads that are like talking to her. Then she goes down the hands of, the helping hands tunnel or hole. That's cool, and then it picks up. But I really think Dance Magic dance scene is my favorite.
Oh yeah, you sung. I mean, hey, you talk the hands where this little girl's falling down, and all these fucking
hands are touch groping
all
her.
These adults keep grabbing her and shit.
Oh shit! You know, one of them got like a pussy shot. He was like,
What do you mean? Having her on purpose.
You know, there was one of these in there.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh shit.
Greg,
I don't know, Grog. Why don't you talk about it too? Like, you want to talk about the film?
Greg, what's your favorite part of the movie?
Okay. My favorite part is just a mild extension of what Darren said. I'm gonna go with all the musical numbers. Like whenever music came into it, like it was worth watching. It became that much more enjoyable. I loved the characters. There isn't one. The guy riding his sheepdog was fucking awesome, and that touched me because we used to have sheepdog. You know, like, but the music part of that made it so much fun. I did want to throw one thing out there though. Meatloaf definitely could not have been this guy, because if you've ever seen the behind the scenes of Labyrinth, when David Bowie is supposed to be doing all those magical things with the orbs, it's not him. It's some guy reaching behind his back. If that was Meatloaf, the guy wouldn't be able to reach behind his back and do that.
Yeah, you know that reminds me of Deliverance. So you know, on Deliverance, there's that little weird-looking kid playing the fucking what the hell is it called? The fiddle thing, whatever the hell. Anyway, the banjo. On Deliverance, the little boy playing the banjo. Well, you know, the boy didn't know how to play a banjo. He was just a little kid from the local school. And so they had a guy, you know, reach his arms around the kid, and he was playing the banjo in the movie. So that reminds me of that, but just arms around the kid. But my favorite part in the movie was the very end when she gets back, she gets her brother back, she's back at home, and then she's all sad because she's like not going to see her friends anymore, and then they pretty much tell her, hey, anytime you need us, just say it, and then they all have a party, they all show up.
Should you need us? My favorite part, it's really nothing like, nothing that helps the story go forward or anything like that, but just ever since I was a kid, the best friggin' part of that movie is just this one part right here. Him. The worm. He was the best part. He was my favorite. Just something about him was just so simple and so perfect that I loved it. The worm fucking ruled.
Oh, dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, he was just fucking great.
Hold on, I gotta find him.
Yeah, I'm saying you have a worm, don't you?
Come inside, have a cup of tea with the missus.
He's so small, I don't see how.
Hello. No,
Well,
I said hello, but that's close enough.
I never considered him a goblin because to me he was just a worm.
He's not a goblin.
Well, he has to be a goblin if he's there.
He's not a goblin, though. He's a worm.
He's not a regular worm. he's a goblin worm.
What? Alright, these are the first things I can grab. But because I remember I was asked not too long ago to find this one, I couldn't find it until I cleaned the room up. But there's the Hoggle Jareth 2-pack.
Nice.
Nuka. Here's the worm. He's fucking awesome. I love him. Then just the Labyrinth board game and the expansion pack from Goblins. I've shown this to you guys before, but yeah, that's some cool shit. I have more Labyrinth stuff, but I have no idea where it is right now. So, but yeah.
Do you have that Dark Crystal board game?
Yes.
I figured.
Yeah. I always want to open them up, but I don't.
I would have. I'd open them. I'd have to open it up just to fucking play with the little pieces. I would never play the game, just to set the pieces up.
That's true. Maybe I should do that. Fuck. God damn it, Larry.
Oh, all good.
All right, so let's rate this thing.
It's not like it's $100 board game.
I don't want to have to buy it again because it has to be sealed.
All right, I'll rate it first. So like I said, I mean, I love the movie, always have. We already talked about everything, so I guess I'll just rate it. I give it a 9.
Oh, damn.
One of the best movies I've ever seen as a kid, and so it's always going to be high. Too fucking good to go low.
I'm gonna go high. I'm gonna go 9.5.
There you go.
It was great as a kid, and it holds up as an adult. And yeah, there you go.
There's only a couple movies that since Darren's gone anyway, that you watch as a kid, and when you're an adult, they still hold up the same, if not even more. Like when I was a kid, yeah, I loved Howard the Duck. Now, if I watch that movie, it's a fucking 2. But between that and like The Princess Bride, I was still. You give it a 9 as a kid, and you still give it a 9 now. It's still awesome.
I got one for you, Barry. If you had to be sent to one, would you rather have to get through the bog of eternal stench or the bog of the giant rats in Princess Bride? I forget what they called it, but it wasn't the thing with the giant rats.
ROUSs.
I'd go with the fucking bog of eternal stench.
I'd fit in that place.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like the creature that came out of the fucking cave crack. It was like,
you call that a stench? Take this.
Like, you think that stinks, motherfucker?
Our hotel room at TFW last year was called the Bog of Eternal Stench.
It's true. All right, so you gave it a 10?
No, 9.5. No, I gave it 9. I gave it 9.5. My 10s are very, very limited.
All right. I'm going for it. In the history of the show, it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
Ooh. So overall rating, 5.0?
I don't think that movie can give me more. For me personally, I don't think that movie could give me more pleasure in a film. It's got every element of everything I love. Awesome music. Fucking puppetry, practical effect, fantasy, just everything I love about movies. It's kind of like horror and fantasy all wrapped into one package for me. So it hits all the marks. So I have to go with it. 10 out of 10 for me.
Awesome. Drug. What's your rating, Drug?
Yeah, I'm the same 10.
Ooh.
It's one of those movies that, like all you guys had said, it's always been a part of our lives. The moment you see it and it captivates you, you know it's going to be one of those few movies that's just going to always be there, and you're going to always enjoy it and never, ever, 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 ever going to get bored of it. No matter what, you will always find enjoyment in watching that film. Simple as that.
The chat heard you say that, right?
What?
I said, did the chat hear you say that?
They should have. Yeah, I had it on.
I like all of a sudden, like, why are you guys not talking? I want to say the chat, with the exception of Steve, but he was busy playing with his fan. They all give us a lot of love. 8, 9.5 from Phil, 9.5 from Josh, 9 from PD Dubs, 9 from Zombie.
Steven, I can't believe you're only giving it a 6.
Oh, he bumped up to 7. He did go to 7. I guess he got intimidated by all the highs.
He said, though, he would go higher if you take your shirt off.
Me?
Yeah, he said, Darren, take your shirt off, sexy.
I will as soon as I get hot. I'll probably get all hot and bothered in like an hour.
Wait till you see my video. That might do it for you.
Oh, I'll do it, maybe.
All right. Us 4 equaled out to about 9.66, 9.7.
Yeah, absolutely. We did. Labyrinth was
That's the highest. That's the highest rated film we've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Which we knew it would be. Come on, no one. I would have been shocked if any of us went under 9. Larry was the only wild card because I know how Larry, maybe 8 at the lowest from you, but I knew Darren was going to be right there with me.
I don't like. My thing is, I don't like giving perfect scores to any movie. It's like there's something about it because I always know there's going to be something actually better.
Well, that's why 9.5. I agree with you. That 10 has to be. I have a few 10s.
I have one,
but not many.
See, I don't find anything wrong with it. There isn't one thing that's glaring out to me that wasn't good. It came out at a good time period. It was the best time period in movies, in my opinion. It was a wonderful film. There was something. It definitely made it magical for me. What the movie was intended to do for kids. It was magical. Maybe yes, as an adult looking back, it was pretty pervy. Maybe, definitely. Now that you're pointing out the hands and the kids, but I don't know if Jim Henson thought of it that way.
Well, no, that's the adults who do that.
You know what I'm saying, though? But there's those sick directors that throw that shit in and they end up being pedophiles later in life. Jim Henson was never one of those people.
Yeah,
it's like the people who say, SpongeBob is not for children. Yeah. It's for children. You start interpreting it in all weird ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, but imagine Labyrinth now if it would have been that pedophile-ish, and then Michael Jackson ended up being the fucking guy. Yeah. That would change the whole movie. Nobody would like Labyrinth anymore. They would get rid of it, just like Neverland.
Well, I have it on DVD, so they go anywhere. They can hide all they want.
Mm.
One thing we didn't mention with the creepy factor, apparently too, it's obvious the parents had that son by accident because she was 17. They didn't want a newborn. 17 years later, they have another kid. That wasn't intentional because they still were going out and having fun.
They were. You're right, and they left it with the daughter to take it for the babies. Yeah, you're right.
Did they ever say was that both her parents? Because for some reason the whole time I was feeling like that might have been like a stepdad or something. I don't know why I got that, but for my whole life I've always looked at her dad as like her stepdad.
They didn't say, and back then that would have been something they probably be more guarded with having like they were even careful with that, like divorced families and remarriages. So they probably didn't say.
All right. What's next?
Video time. So, Glog.
You want to open it up again?
Yeah, a quick little introduction. This is all 3 of us. You've seen them, I'm sure. It started with It actually started like martial artists, and then a bunch of celebrities did it. I think Ryan Reynolds did one that I thought was probably the funniest. He just broke the bottle and left. But essentially, it's the bottle cap challenge, and Al takes on it. And, we did with us what the Hot Cheetos group is going to do. Something silly and over the top. And it may have frontal nudity. Maybe.
So do I have to silence myself and then turn the speaker on the video playing to see it?
No, I will be turning our audio off, and they'll hear just the audio from the video.
So I don't have to do anything else?
You don't have to do anything. Just watch.
Okay.
So the first one we have is Craig and his bottle challenge. So without further ado, here's Craig.
What is up, everybody? It is Craig, and here's my version of the bottle cap challenge. Now, I tried a few different versions, and I've come to realize that my spinning heel flip kick isn't what it used to be. I thought about using some weapons, and you misfire a couple of bow and arrows, and the neighbors get mad. So now I've come to my bedroom, my solstice. Hi there. And as you might guess where we're going a whole new route with this bad boy. Got a little song on that the Hot Cheers and boys know as well, mainly thanks to Rari's shenanigans. So here's what we're going to do. I am only wearing this robe. No, you're not going to get full frontal. Sorry, ladies. Right there, on my computer, my bootleg laptop, we got 2 bottles. Yes, I'm going to do what you think I'm going to do. Or at least I'm going to attempt it. And to show you how brave I am, if I knock those bottles down, I'm going to screw up my laptop and I might not be on air tonight. Whew, it's a tough one, isn't it? And I'm just noticing, you can see now with this camera, like the rest of where I am, and you see like the cross hanging with the creep figure Brian made me and Mr. Bagul. So I'm sure I'm breaking some sins there. But anyway, easy enough. I'm going to hit both caps off. They're going to fall down. My goal is for them to just fall innocently on the desk, and we'll show them to you. We'll see. I might not know my own power, though. And I'm just hoping that I do not wind up... burying my computer in water. So... Whoa! See? Whoa. So we're going to put you here. Which I think you have a good angle of the bottles. So go, right? So... No. Come on, folks. Here we go. Got one. Got 2. To show you. Let's see. Caps are gone. One went there. Huh. Well, I'm not sure with the other one, folks. Hopefully that's not going to haunt your dreams. It was fun. Real deserving. And now I got a ton of Silence of the Ram songs, so peace.
Oh, God, I didn't know. How'd you get the bottles to stay? That's good. Oh, God, I didn't know.
So what do you think of that, fellas? Let's talk before you go to the next one. Look at that. Travis is like fucking peas. Yes, I am. When we get over 300, maybe I'll refilm that. When we get over 300 subscribers, maybe I'll film that differently.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that's good, dude. That was a good one. That was good. I'm proud of you.
The question is, there's a chance I might have shown too much if you pause it at the right time.
No, I didn't see it.
How many people? I hope we don't have any sickos who are going to be like, no, nope, no.
And if we
no.
do, we're just gonna have to get a picture from Larry where like someone's going. It won't be that bad.
I am glad mine was shown first because seeing it on my, because I'm watching the show muted on my big screen TV. Oh, on my TV. And it's like seeing me on that screen about to do that wasn't that enjoyable.
Mm. All right, you all ready for the next?
All right, this next one is Darren and his take on the bottle challenge.
Lacrosse 55's review bar.
Something in this field could be releasing the chemical into the air when there's too many of us together. Let's just stay ahead of the wind. Let's just break up into groups.
Wow! Steven's Horror Craptacular, motherfucker!
Hi, my name is Kylan, but on YouTube you can find me as Elizabeth666, and you can also find me on Instagram under the same name.
Now one young man must face the demon wind.
PD Dubs, biatch.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Oh! Oh my god, that's rotten!
You on a popcorn fire. Oh, somebody stepping a duck.
But when you're an overweight child in a society that demands perfection, where your sense of right, wrong, fair and unfair will always be tragically skewed. Did you just soil yourself? Ooh, wafting, wafting. Oh, everyone likes their own brand, don't they? This is magic.
What's going on here? I think I do remember hearing something on TV about colon cleansing. They say everyone should have one. I'm thinking about getting me an appointment and go down and getting my colon cleansed thoroughly.
You want your colon cleansed? Man, I'm gonna clean mine. Yeah, now my colon is clean. I'm talking squeaky clean.
I tossed this between the crack of your ass.
Yeah, you know I can go all night.
And that was a long ass video.
Very nice. I can't fuck with Darren's production value. Very nicely done, man.
Oh shit.
All right, and last but certainly not least is Larry's take on the bottle challenge. It's a good one. All right, here we go.
Come on. Big fish.
No, he had himself muted when you saw the icon.
I muted myself.
Yeah.
Larry, you did not fucking drink your own piss.
Okay.
Did you really?
It's mine. I can do what I want with it.
Ew, that's fucking sick, dude. Ugh. Oh man. Did you really? Oh god.
So what do y'all think about everything? That was our challenge for the week. Our own spin on the spinning the cap challenge.
And it's on you guys to vote on which you only like best.
That was our challenge for the week.
What the fuck?
Someone's got reverb.
That's me.
And it's on you guys to vote.
So vote Craig, Darren, Larry. Or just don't vote for anybody and say everybody wins. We can all get a participation trophy.
Now I know they don't have those in Texas.
Whoa.
Larry's got to win for drinking his own fucking piss. I'm sorry. In my opinion.
Dude, we've seen Larry eat bugs. That's nothing. Drinking your own piss. Piss with a little bit of water. It wasn't a full
I
bottle
vote Larry.
If it was someone else's piss, I would definitely give it to Larry right away. That's fucking.
Go.
Hey. It's my little goddaughter right there.
And that's why Larry makes sure he's healthy.
That's right. I don't know. I think everyone did a good job. I actually think it was a pretty interesting challenge for this week because it was such a like hot topic. Everyone was doing it like when we chose it. So it's weird to see like our interpretations of. I had no idea what to do. I originally put out like people like blow on this thing, and then I realized I took the video down because I had like 30 fucking people saying I'm not giving a grown man a video of me blowing on the internet because I have no idea what's going to happen with it. So the few that I got in for the first couple I threw in there. So thanks guys for submitting your stuff. I appreciate it. But then I got to a point I'm like I only have 4 videos of people like blowing, and I was like, well, I got to breathe the blow in, that demon blow, and fart it out, and then continue the rest of the video with people farting it off. So I don't know. So that's what I did. So it was fun. Hope to see that.
Awesome. Appreciate all y'all watching. 17 people right now. It's pretty good for us.
Absolutely.
We're not actually putting it out there to anybody that hey, we're doing a show. So you actually only know because it pops up.
Yeah. He didn't advertise anything.
We're an advertising channel because we only want our actual friends and followers instead of stragglers coming on trolling. So be sure, while you're all here, all 17 of y'all, to go hit that like button and give us a like on this video.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I wish there was a lot more challenges like that we could do our take on and not kill each other or get killed trying.
I'm sure we just have to look it up. We just need to go one day and just look up on YouTube, like, challenge video and see what pops up. Or if anybody in the chat wants to just send us ideas for future challenges.
Yeah, we'll listen.
Definitely.
A lot of them are about ingesting things.
Yeah, I mean, get away from the beer and the food and an actual challenge, something we have to do, something physical or something like that where we can put our own spin on the actual challenge. Yeah, give us y'all's ideas because we're going to need them eventually because it's hard to come up with them.
Pete Dubs.
Oh, don't worry, P Dubs. I can give Larry your video, and he'll make sure to do some kind of dick sucking with it.
Yep.
Maybe blowing out a dick birthday candle. No. All right. So, do you guys want to continue?
Yeah, we'll move on to perks of being a wallflower.
Yeah. So, you want to talk about it a little bit, Craig?
Absolutely. And listen, I know a lot of you probably seen that movie on there and be like, what the hell? But I've decided Darren picked something real different a couple weeks ago. I forget the one he picked. So I'm like, hey, you know what? Let me go with something real different too. And it is a movie that I genuinely enjoy. I enjoy it for a lot of reasons. I enjoy it because as a psychologist, there's a lot going on. But that said, it's voted with well-known actors. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't have you have Dylan McDermott, you have Ezra Miller, you have Emma Watson, Paul Rudd, you have Tom Savini as so that's the horror rink. It's a tale though that I think a lot of us relate to. Like I guess a little behind the scenes with me and I don't think these guys know this either. Like whenever I refer to like our group, because we do this, we have this running chat all the time on Facebook. I always refer to it as like the Island of Misfit Toys, because that's how I see it. I really do. I think that's why we work so well together because we got a lot of the same weird issues going on. And that's what you see in this case. You see a case of Charlie who had a lot going on. And then like some of the kids who were somewhat outcast, but not really outcast. They were just doing their own thing, sort of welcomed him into the group. And because of some issues he had, it took him a little bit to adapt appropriately, but I don't want to delve into that stuff just yet. It's just preliminary. And like the whole movie is sort of about that sequence of change and realizing in your differences, you're not all that different. And there are people that are there. And it also is a good PSA for things not to do. Like ultimately it is a very strong anti-suicide message. Not to depress, but it is. So that's all I'm going to say with it for now. I have some more stuff to say a little bit later, but I'd love to hear what you guys think, and I know Glog definitely wants to on this one too, because I think it hit him the same sort of way it hit me.
The main character, you said Charlie. I kept looking at him the whole movie. He's like, how do I know this guy? He fucking Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson, Lightning Thief.
Yeah.
I know. I love that movie.
I had to look it up, and I was like, that's how I know that damn guy. And of course, the other guy, one of the main characters is the Flash.
Yep.
But man, yeah, the movie it takes place, in high school, and it's pretty much like real life. Any high school, there's so many people. You have your jocks, you have your nerdy guys, your goths, your everything in their own groups, and just how like even some kids you get picked on by the jocks, say during school, but out of school, they even have their own issues going on. Like in here, the main jock, the quarterback of the football team, is actually in a gay relationship with one of the nerdy gay guys,
With the guy called Nobody, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's what they call him, Nobody.
And it's a when Craig first picked the movie, I didn't know what it was, and then I looked at it, watched the trailer. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck am I watching? This is gonna be dumb as shit. And why did Craig pick this? And then I watch it for 2 hours. It's a 2 hour long movie, and it makes you think a lot about a lot of stuff, and a lot of it's like really personal stuff that you might have seen growing up or you might have dealt with, and all the challenges and everything that goes on in everyday life of being really a teenager, much less an adult, but being a young kid coming up and trying to, if you think that you're like bad and you're going through so many issues, but really a lot of other people are going through the same or if not worse, and you're not alone, and finally you're ready to commit suicide pretty much, but then you meet a friend and then you become a part of a group, and pretty much like Charlie, he became a part of the Wallflowers and their group pretty much of people. And even though he was the youngest, and that's why the whole movie I'm thinking, damn, these kids that he's friends with are all going to graduate at the end of the year, and he's going to be alone because he was only a freshman. And sure enough, at the end of the movie, it kind of happens that way. But the movie, I mean, I fucking love the fucking movie.
I like to hear that, man. I like to hear that.
Yeah, and Tom Savini's in it, so you kind of say it's kind of horror. He's literally in it like 2 or 3 times. Only like has a couple of lines, but it's still cool seeing him in the movie, playing the shop teacher. But yeah, there.
All right. So here's what I think. First off, I've seen this movie when it first came out. What was it, like 2012, something like that? Maybe a little bit later.
Yeah, around there.
I saw it with Beth when it first came out, but I never really thought anything of it, at the time. And then when you said it again, I knew it sounded familiar to me. Like I remember, like I know I had seen it at one point. So we watched it together last night, and it was interesting because the writer who wrote the movie, I can't remember his name. I looked him up. He's a fantastic writer. He also wrote the movie Wonder. You ever seen the movie Wonder?
Mm-hmm.
Great movie, just like that. So if you like this, you should check that out too. He's from Pittsburgh. He's a PA boy. The whole movie was shot in Philadelphia. The tunnel they go through, I go through all the fucking time. It's crazy. It was, it's a Philly movie. They talk about going to Penn State. They're all trying to get into college at the time. Charlie's going through all the shit he's going through. I thought it was interesting how they played out the scenes of his aunt. And little small things all the way through, because it keeps you wondering the whole time, all the way to the end, like, what the fuck happened? Like, was it just a car accident? Was it?
Yeah.
Was he just really attached to his aunt? And then as it goes on, the movie goes on and on and on. You start to see how really kind of messed up he is. Like they start throwing out that he used to have visions, right? They kind of slowly work that into the narrative. Like Charlie, are you still having those visions? And then he has them more and more and more as his anxiety gets worse and worse and worse. And I wouldn't say the kid was agoraphobic. The kid was definitely schizophrenic.
No, it wasn't.
You don't think he was showing very strong signs of schizophrenia?
No.
It's only because he was being too reserved.
And I didn't mean to jump just the psychologist in me on that one is, it's definitely not schizophrenia. It was PTSD from being molested.
It was just straight through and through.
Well, there's definitely anxiety issues, and there's probably a personality issue in there, maybe an avoidant personality type, or at the very least something they call PDNOS, personality disorder, not otherwise specified. But it's definitely not schizophrenia, because he wasn't hearing voices. He wasn't having delusions. He kept reliving what the aunt did and kept seeing, hey, this is our secret.
That makes it. I was going to say, because he was so quick to make the friends, it's either he was that lonely or he does have those manic episodes where it's like, oh, I finally attached myself to people, and then he's all about it. That's why his rejection was so bad after he kissed that girl, after he kissed Emma Watson. Well, so I don't know. That's a cool thing about this movie, and I think Craig kind of hit it a little bit, is because he comes from the psychological background. I'm more the sociological background, so words mean a lot to me when I try to figure something out, if that makes sense. So, really fucking good movie. Yes, The Lightning Thief Kid for Percy Jackson. That's one of the first movie I saw him in, and I love that one. I also like the second one, the water one? I forget. I thought how they got him to be their friend was very interesting. I really liked the gay kid. I thought it was cool they did a Rocky Horror Picture Show thing. Yeah, Tom Savini being as the shop teacher for random shit, he was getting made fun of the whole time. It's a different way of seeing Tom Savini.
Yep.
So usually he's like the badass. He's not like the avoided teacher that just like, oh, kids make fun of me. I also really like the relationship between Paul Rudd and Charlie. I thought it was very genuine, and it was nice to see Paul Rudd like that before he turned into a tool bag. Because I feel like Paul Rudd's like his roles over the last fucking 10 years have been shit.
Really?
Come on, he kicks ass as Ant-Man.
Yeah, I like Paul Rudd. I think I never seen him as
maybe like movies like that, but like when he does his romantic comedies and shit, it's just so unbelievable. He's just too goofy.
This is 40. Yeah, I guess I could see that.
But overall, that movie I loved. It was so fucking indie. It was written by a Pennsylvania boy. It was filmed in like my heart. You know, I know all the places they were going, like seeing the signs when they're driving and shit. Like, it just had a cool vibe to it. I don't know.
And just to go back, like, we're talking about the issues that he had, like, I think for him, because he had the issues he had, his parents guarded him so much, they didn't really let him reach out. And it took these kids reaching out to him for him to be okay, because they were like, are you sure? Are you sure? You know what I mean? So that's why he was quick to the friends. But since he haven't had a lot of socialization, that's why he didn't, like, that one when they're playing that question game. What was it? Who's the most beautiful girl here, right? Or something?
Yeah.
And instead of saying the girl he's with, he says Emma Watson, which was true, but that's not what you say at that moment. You know, but let's not forget, after they broke up as friends briefly, one of the best damn scenes in that movie is when the jock calls his friend the F word, and like, you know, then they're fighting, and then all of a sudden Charlie comes over and beats the shit out of 3 football players, and then he goes, "You ever touch my friend again, next time I'll blind you." Yep. And the adrenaline is so pumping. His hands is, even that subtle nuance, his hand is all bruised, and the adrenaline has it shaking so much. Like, they portrayed that so well.
They did.
And then the jock at the end apologizes when he sees him in the principal's office. Thanks for stepping in, Charlie.
Yeah.
You know, I there's not a thing in that movie. There's not really a thing not to like. It's such a, and the book they say is better. I'll be honest. I didn't read it. The book they say is significantly better. So for that to be a thing, that's amazing. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the backstory, reading up to the awful thing the aunt did, and then the kid felt guilty because he wanted her dead. He didn't want to happen to him anymore, and then she dies. Imagine dealing with that as a 4 or 5-year-old kid. All of a sudden, something you wanted to have happen. Kids think about that. If you talk about like Piagetian concepts, kids think if they think something happens, that they made it happen. So that's why he got screwed up so much.
Yeah.
But Glog, you're back. You got a real Jack. I know you were big on this movie. You want to say a few words?
Yes. Okay, so when you had announced the movie, I was like, felt like Mayor Vaughn. People were like, huh? What? But once I saw it, I was like, shit. I had related a lot to the main character. I myself was kind of, you know, outcast in school. I had a couple of friends, but that was about it. But again, I think maybe that was my own group of wallflowers. And the it's really hard for me to formulate this, just because just the fact that, you know, when you, no matter what kind of group you're in, there's always going to be something that happens, and no matter what I do, it's like, oh, something always happens and gets in the way, and that's exactly what happened with him. And when I saw it, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, the writer was writing about everyone, because, you know, I was going to say what Larry basically said, you know, it's written from experience. We've all, a lot of us have been there, especially our kind of groups of horror people. It's like, you know, we're the single ones out of our areas. It's like, There's no one around here who's into horror like I am. There's Larry. What about you? Is a lot of people in your area into horror like you are? No, because if there were, then you'd be hanging out with them.
One person.
One person. Okay. All right. Craig, you? Darren?
No.
There's really no one in our areas that share the love of horror that we have. So, in a way, this is how we bond. Well, in Wallflowers, it's like, you know, they find their way of bonding with each other. They're not horror freaks, but just knowing that, you know, there's a lot of other people out there like that. In a way, you don't feel so alone. It was, it tapped into a lot of different things, you know, like, you know, you are an outcast, but you like someone. What if they reject you? And just all that kind of shit. Craig, I got to give you accolades, man. That movie was just fucking fabulous. It was amazing, and I cried. I don't fucking care. Yes, people, I cried at it.
I was just gonna say that.
I just
one of the first movies I cried to, and I was legit. Like Beth even looked over at me and was like, she was like, "Are you fucking crying?" I was like, "Shut up!" It was sad. Like, and I like wiped one tear away, and she was like making fun of me. But I'm like, if your own wife makes fun of a man for watching this movie so intently as the way he did, she would understand. She wasn't the dude. She wasn't the guy. She didn't know how the guys think about situations. Like when you watch that guy's life being played out, I feel like there's a difference between the female perspective and the male perspective, obviously. So I thought I really tied into well with him. I can see all of us in our own ways we're that person. So
agreed. Yeah, Craig, awesome pick, man. I'm glad you gave me that digital code. Thank you.
I'm glad you asked for it before it went out. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I want to know who your favorite character was.
My favorite character, obviously Charlie.
See, I'll say mine was actually I can't think of his damn name. The gay guy.
Nothing.
Oh yeah, me too.
But man, his character, I mean, I think he's played the part so fucking perfect, and maybe because he's really gay in real life, but which he is. I'm just saying, he played the character so perfect. Everything he did in the movie, just his flow, everything was perfect. The way he just said his lines.
You know what I thought? When you first see him, when he's imitating Tom Savini's teacher, I thought he was just like a random someone that you were just, you know, he's like, oh yeah, and look at this guy, blah blah blah, and then you pretty much perish the thought about him until he gets to the football game scene. Then, you know, it's when he becomes more apparent as a character. Of course, that, and you know, I didn't really look at the posters or anything, so it's. But
let me tell you this, like, the way that Emma Watson and that kid met him, or like started talking, was
a little random.
He finally like, he was sitting down at the bottom of the bleachers, and then he saw him, and he was like, you know, I'm gonna go for it. Let's just see if he notices. Goes up top, and then he just instantly calls him over. Like, it was nothing. Like, that shit happened in school, like, to some extent, where maybe it did when you first meet some of your closest friends or whatever, but the fact that it happened like that, and then they just slowly had this bond. And then I love that they both, Emma Watson and him, at one point started to love him. Like, they built a relationship where they started to love him, where even Charlie was there for the nothing when he was going through his fucking depression times, and the way he wrote it and typed it was beautiful. He was like,
and the whole scene.
He was like every night he's so excited and he feels alive and infinite. And as the night progresses and goes on, he goes further and further into his mind, into his soul, into the blackness. And then it shows a scene where he comes up and he's at the point, and Charlie tells him he loves him too, and he's always going to be there for him, and he just kisses him. And then Charlie doesn't react at all. He doesn't react and don't do that, don't do this. He hugs him and he just embraces him like saying sorry. And that was one of the most beautiful scenes, honestly, in the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Making me want to watch it again now, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pick, Greg. Very, very, very good pick.
Well, shall we rate it? I'm going same as I did the first movie today. Can't go 10. I think I like this a little bit better for the deepness of it, but still 9.5 for me.
I always write down my numbers before to make sure I don't like change them. And I am going the same score as my first movie too. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
9 out of 10 here. Absolutely. The writing was just brilliant. It was. And you know, the scene that really gets you is when they're in the tunnel for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That is just like the best part of the whole fucking film. I love that scene.
But yes, it's a fucking David Bowie song, which is why when we were talking about Labyrinth, I was like, when we get to that part, that is David Bowie.
Yeah.
Great fucking song, great fucking scene. The movie's, oh man, you brought up something else just now. It was just in my mind before you said the song.
The tunnel scene, the best scene.
Yeah, it was right before
Elizabeth,
that.
take care. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Liz. Bye, Kylan.
Yo, peace out. I can't remember what that was. Shit.
How about the fact Charlie even tries to protect, like even though he's not with Emma Watson, he's still like trying to give her advice on, hey, you're better than that and all that. Like, you know, I don't know. The kid had a lot on his plate.
Darren, what was your rating?
It's a 9 out of 10. Solid. I was going to go 9.5. And the only reason I didn't is when I think back when we're starting to all break it down and kind of go through the movie again, is I think they should have played up the ants a little bit more. Just a hair more, and it would have been a little bit. It would have gave us more depth on maybe that, even like wondering why his aunt was so terrible.
Well, you know, I wonder if maybe
he said she was an alcoholic, which is one thing.
And she lost her husband.
At one time she showed her wrists were slit. She had scars.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish they would have. I don't know. It's kind of sick to say.
Yeah.
It's sick to say, but I wish they would have shown more of the molestation, not the actual act.
No, I understand what you mean. I like the fact that
their interactions were.
I like the fact you didn't find out to the end. I think that gave it that moment of, oh, that's why he feels all this guilt. Like, that's what happened. Like, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much. I mean, it would have been a different movie, because then it would be more about, I'd view the whole movie as trying to overcome being molested. And that's how you could go back and think about it, but when you watch the movie, you don't have that in your head.
How about this then? Instead of showing the more act of what she was doing, at the end when he was talking to Joan Cusack, I was waiting for him as he was talking to say it, and he never said it.
Well,
I was waiting for him to say what she did, or like at least something more. That would have.
I'm glad he didn't say it.
But I'm wondering if there's like a director's cut or something, extended version where they actually has more film.
There are. There's behind the scenes. There's bonus scenes, but nothing. The thing with Joan Cusack, though, you know he told her because Joan Cusack had to tell the parents.
Yeah, I know.
And then you saw Kate Walsh, and they're my god, like so you knew he did tell her. So I think if he told her, the doctor, it would have been a good scene. She would have embraced him. But I think that would have taken away from the reveal to the parents, because it's like we're learning, like we're hearing her say it to them, and then realizing what's going on.
So we had back-to-back movies to start this show that were ranked around a 9.6 to a 9.25 as total ratings by us.
Wow. I think these are the two highest rated films we've done.
Oh, it's not by far, yeah.
Now.
Yeah, I don't think I've given any 9.5s.
Interesting.
So, chat, we're bringing back trivia. Excited?
Ready?
How do you want to do? Do you want to?
So I have to go downstairs and pick out 10 teams.
Okay.
So why don't you build them up? I'm going to go do a quick score. Do you want all horror only?
I would pick horror for it.
All horror only.
Yeah, why not? Unless Larry deems the things otherwise.
All right.
Whatever.
You know, like I think that'll be good. He's going to use the things. I actually got some pretty good questions. I even have a couple of questions I didn't know the answers to. I'm like, oh shit, really? And so that we'll see if you guys are like, oh, of course, Craig. How did you not know that the whole time? What about yourself, Larry? What do you got?
Like as in what?
Like, what do you got? You got questions, you got
Yeah,
quotes, you got pitches like Darren.
I only have some questions. I got
Okay.
about 5 questions,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, I'm a little more, but yeah, I'm in that range. That's cool.
I got one softball, and then a couple that may be softballs, but I think they're maybe not.
Okay.
A little more obscure, kind of.
I like the obscure. The obscure is gonna be fun. And as always, chat, participate. Have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
If Phil's still in it, I know he never says no to trying to get a chat. But I guess we'll probably hide the chat when we ask the questions.
I got one softball right off the bat, but then I got one. The next question. No, it's fine.
No,
they're delayed anyway, so.
Yeah, on our screen. Yeah.
For 50 seconds. And
How long is the delay? Okay, yeah. If it's 15, that's fine.
Yeah, it's around 15 on my end. But if they get it, if we have 15-second head start and then we see theirs, then they beat us.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I'll be honest. I'm worried about the Darren one because I know he's been on a tear with these DVDs and or these VHSs. And I know he shows some to Eric. I've never heard of some of these movies he's yanking out.
Oh, I have no clue what half the shit he's been getting.
So it'll be fun. Maybe I'll go for more of the. What does that cover look like to me?
All right, I'm gonna run and pee right fast.
Okay. And then there was one. Oh man. So, yeah, Glog, the sound's been good. You've got a lot of compliments in the chat. I don't know if you've seen them go throughout that the sound was going pretty good. Steve was bitching a lot about perks of being a Wallflower, but no accounting for taste there, Stevie, I guess. Phil hasn't seen it. I'm surprised. Phil has everything on DVD. Pete Dub was watching his Chiefs murder the 49ers. Pete Dubs, come on. You can't be that big on the Chiefs, not with the whole Tyreek Hill stuff. But the 49ers are pretty bad. I'll give you that. No, Steve, I'm only fucking with you two. I know this isn't your... I get the sense I could never see Steve sitting down enjoying this type of movie. He'd put it on and he'd say something like, "What is this shit? Oh my god!" And throw something at the screen. But that's okay. That's why they have Deliverance for you, Stevie.
All right.
Both of you back at the exact same time.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta make Darren bigger, so I guess I gotta make Glock smaller. Okay, good. I can see. Perfect. Okay, make anyway smaller. Oh, that's cool, Phil. No rush. I told you that way back when. So, Darren, what order do you want to go in?
So, I don't have trivia, but what I do have is something I was doing with the guys the other night, which was kind of fun, so I think it'll be fun for you guys as well.
I agree.
I picked out 8 films that I'm going to use my finger to cover the title and just show you the cover art. These are all VHS tapes. They're all in the horror genre, and you have to guess what they are every time I go through. So we can go. You do one, and then a question, and then we can kind of just.
Well, no. Why don't you do all yours, then I'll do my question. We'll rotate it that way. We have uneven numbers of stuff.
Well, let me go first.
So you want to do your questions first? Okay.
I only have a couple, so let me get them out of the way first. So
okay. Just shouting out the answer.
Yeah, whoever shouts it out first.
Okay.
Darren, Craig, or chat. If nobody. First one is a total softball to get it started.
Okay.
What was George Romero's first film?
Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah. What was George Romero's first ever directorial debut? Not the first thing he ever directed. I'll tell you, it wasn't a movie. It was a TV show. And it wasn't horror.
Twilight Zone.
I just said it wasn't horror.
I have no idea.
Tarzan's not horror.
Horror to me. Horror sci-fi is the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
Guiding Light?
Nope. But you'd be
Oh, okay. So when you see something that says horror sci-fi, is it say horror?
No. Wings? Dude, this was the early 60s. This is before 9/11 did.
Okay.
His
What
first
is
thing
it?
was ever directed. It was a kids show in the early 60s.
Banana Splits?
Nope.
Bonzo?
Nope.
Or the clown Bozo?
Bozo.
Nope. You want to...
Romper Room?
Nope. Hint time?
Yeah.
There's a movie coming out.
Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Are you fucking serious?
George Romero directed an episode of Mr.
Yeah,
Rogers'
think about it.
Neighborhood.
Pittsburgh. Mr. Rogers was filmed in Pittsburgh too.
It was his directorial debut. He filmed one episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood where Mr. Rogers got a tonsillectomy.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Very nice.
I'll have to look at that one and see if it's like, if I see any of his like style into it or something. I don't know.
I doubt it. He was a young kid fresh out of like college.
Yeah, you won't notice anything.
Yeah.
So okay, what is acknowledged as the first ever zombie movie?
White Zombie?
Yep.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I thought it was something else.
Starring who?
Bela Lugosi.
Yep. Bela Lugosi.
I know it's
Very
one
nice.
of them.
Very nice, Darren.
What is the only movie Stephen King ever directed?
Maximum
Overdrive. Ah, damn you, Craig.
More importantly, was the only movie Stephen King ever directed high on his ass of cocaine.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that movie.
Me too.
That machine called me an asshole.
Last. What movie stars? You have to don't say anything until I say go. What movie franchise stars John Beeler? You know, John Carl Beeler, the special directs guy. Special effect Beekler. John Beekler, Zach Galligan, Melissa Rose, Derek Mears, Caroline Williams, R.A. Milahoff, Tony Todd, Daniel Harris, Kane Hodder. Go.
Hatchet.
Greg got it.
Fuck.
That's all I
What
got.
a one, baby. I like that.
That's all I got. You know, for all the fucking years that, you know, I've watched Hatchet and all this, I never realized how many fucking people were in them fucking movies.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you got to watch Holliston. Well, that Holliston
Dude,
series
Holliston is
awesome.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, and there's so many. There was one episode where he's having sex with Daniel Harris.
Kane
and
Hodder comes in.
joins
He
in,
puts the
and
hockey
they're-
mask on.
they're
He's like, it's like
talking
that one
about
time at
Angus
Monster
Grimm.
Mania.
Oh, remember Angus Grimm got in the bed? It was great.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to. Holliston is.
Larry,
I have.
hold on. Craig, hold on. Larry, Darren, I have the complete series of Holliston on the server. Watch it.
I will.
Seriously.
Fun with it.
I will.
Even better, if you just want to get an idea, I should say even better because Holliston's good. On YouTube, there's these segments from his company like Sleepovers with Adam Green.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like 10-minute segments, like Sid Haig slept over, Tony Todd slept over,
Kane Hodder, Daniel Harris,
Felicia
yeah.
Rhodes. A lot of fun.
That's cool.
I have a side trivia question, okay? What was the original title for the show Holliston?
Oh, Adam Green's family. I don't know.
Well, Holliston's the neighborhood they're from, right? Or
Right.
Like the, right? So it would have to be something very personal to Adam Green. So.
You'll never guess it.
Well, then.
Coffee and donuts.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna, since it's 8:21. We got. I'm gonna ask a few of my questions for you guys now. I'm gonna start with an easier one to warm you up, and again, first answer gets it. What is the name of the camp from Sleepaway Camp?
Arawak.
Arawak.
Very nice. Very nice. Who Who is Captain Elliot Spencer?
Starship Troopers.
This is where we all put our drinks to our mouths.
You could not be more wrong. You could try. You could fail. Come on, this is a huge one. Captain Elliot Spencer.
Oh, it was Pinhead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pinhead. Pinhead.
I forgot he was a flight pilot.
I'm not a Hellraiser guy.
I always forget he was in like World War II or something, right? Is that what it was? It's like a
Yeah.
fighter jet pilot or something.
Everyone always makes a big deal from Jason, Friday the 13th Part 2, about Stephen Dash.
Francis
Well,
Warrington Gillette III.
Actually, his name is... What happened?
Francis Warrington Gillette III is his real name. The other guy.
No, that's not the question.
Oh.
Everyone makes a big deal about Stephen Dash, again, whose real name is like Dashkowitz or something. And then everyone talks about Warren Gillette. However, the first time we see Jason in Part 2...
It's a woman.
It's a woman.
Yeah,
What
I
is
forgot
her
her
name?
It's Betsy
Forgot her name.
Palmer's Anne.
What is her name?
I forgot her name. I knew it was a girl, though.
No,
It
it's
was
not
the
Betsy
feet
Palmer.
walking across the street.
Oh no, the thing with her was it was a man's hands. It was
That was
Tom's hands.
Tom
Oh, that's
Cruise
what you're
hand.
you're talking about, like the when
Like, when she's like, ah!
yeah, no. He's
That's
talking about
different.
he's talking about Part 2, the beginning, when you see the feet like step down off the curb and start walking across the street. It's actually a woman, but I totally forgot her fucking name.
Yeah, I don't know.
No clue.
Ellen Luther. L-U-T-T-R.
And is it? Yes. And I forgot about that.
According to Randy from Scream, what's the scariest movie?
It's not Exorcist, is it?
No. His opinion. He actually, what did he say?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't
Psycho.
seen Scream movie in forever.
As soon as I say it, you're gonna go, oh, that's fucking right.
Psycho.
No.
Jaws?
No.
No.
I'm surprised the chat isn't getting this one.
I don't know.
You guys are giving up?
Yeah, I give up.
Showgirls.
Oh,
Showgirls.
You don't remember him saying that?
Maybe
Like
now.
Showgirls, it was absolutely frightening. Right? You remember that now? And now here is my last question for you. I'll keep it to 5, like Barry has. And to be fair, I don't lie to you guys. It is one that I did not know. So take it at that. What is the Replican's name?
Like Warwick Davis Leprechaun?
Yeah.
He says it in Part 2 when he introduces the movie.
Oh, does he? That way? Because when I read it, says he didn't say it. It's referenced though.
Yeah, it's in Part 2. It's in the beginning when he says it's his birthday and he needs to get married. He says like his name. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I know all the sites agree it's his name, so it had to come from somewhere. So
Yeah.
that might be it.
I have no clue. I'm sure.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you.
Lebdan. L-U-B-D-A-N. Lebdan. But I'm surprised with all the trivia questions we've gone back and forth with. That never came up before.
Yeah.
Because that's a fucking tricky one. Like, I didn't know. And I don't even know if that's what they say, because I think I read they don't say it. It's referenced by someone reading something. So I don't think it was him who said it. But, like, it was something else. But either way. So after that round, where do we stand? We have... I obviously can't go up. So I'm at 4. You got Grog and Darren each got 1.
I got 0.
So Darren has 2. Grog has 1 or 2 down, Grog. I think you have 1, Captain Algier.
Is it too late for me to do my bottle challenge?
Is it what?
Go ahead.
Oh, you fuck!
And we have a winner. That's what we're waiting for.
You fuck!
Okay, Darren, let's see me fail miserably on these VCR tapes. Pick out 5 though. Stay with what we were doing, the 5s.
Only 5?
Yeah, pick out the 5 easiest ones.
No, they're not gonna be easy.
Nah, but you can do them all, dude. I'm only messing with you.
Let's do them all because it's
yeah, they're quick. It's quick.
All right, so
Still got plenty of time.
I gotta be careful how I have my hands. First one.
Humanoids in the Deep?
No.
No, not Humanoids in the Deep. Paradise something.
Demon of Paradise.
Yeah.
Good call.
I knew it. I that was one of the movies. That was one of the first movies I watched on Tubi, and I remember giving it like a 7, and people were like, "You're nuts." Ugh. Let me ask you this question, Larry. Before you go, would you have got it if I didn't say the Paradise part?
No, I just got it because I read it on the bottom of the fucking on the.
Oh, you read the bottom of the box.
Oh, fuck! It did say it.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Son of a bitch.
Okay.
1 point for me for reading the bottom.
Oh God, I didn't see that. All right, you ready?
Duel. No.
Good
Yeah.
man.
All right.
You got it.
I never even heard of that movie.
What's that?
I never even heard of that movie.
What? It's Stephen King's first directed film.
No, it's not. He only directed one film.
Or not Stephen King, Steven Spielberg.
Okay, I gotta look into it.
You've seen it before, dude. The truck. It's kind of like
I've probably seen it. I did
You've seen it before. You probably saw it back in the 80s.
The title doesn't sound familiar to me though. That's all.
All right. Next.
Now he's looking all over. Oh.
Daddy's gone a hunting.
No, I got no can't.
Come on, chap. Phil, you can't say anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, God damn it, Phil.
Is it The Forest?
Yes.
Phil, I read Phil the same way Larry
Phil,
read the bottom of the box.
If you know it, Phil, you're not allowed to participate.
Yes, he is.
Well, I knew he was going to get it right away. I thought you guys would be stumped up on that.
Dude, I'm excited. I almost got Demon of Paradise. I would have got that if I thought about it a little bit longer.
Should have just read it.
My bad. My bad.
All right.
That should be the trailer for Cocoon.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Come on, guys.
Except for Phil. Especially if you've already done these with him.
Well, no, it's like sometimes doing them all, you don't mean you do well the next time around, Larry.
Yeah, I know that.
Darren can tell you about that. Nobody. What was that?
Last chance.
What was it?
Last chance.
I got no shot.
No, I'm talking in the chat too.
Oh.
Anyone got it? Anyone have a guess?
Weird Science.
Brain waves.
I ain't never heard of it.
Yeah.
All right. You may or may not get this one.
I'm gonna go with may not. Because he thought we had chances on the other two.
Yeah.
I can't even see what that is. Let's see. It says sci-fi, not horror. I can't do it. I don't know.
Anyone know?
No. Them. Oh, that's a bug. Jesus Christ. I thought there was like a ship. I know them, too. I've seen them. I thought there was a ship on the side, not a giant cockroach.
All right, I'll make this one a little easier for you. What version of Frankenstein is this?
The one in your hand. I'm right. It's the one in your hand.
Everyone in the chat. What version of Frankenstein is this? It's a classic.
Yep. Classically not for me.
Nobody in the chat saying anything. I don't know if
I've never been a Universal Monsters person though.
not
I've
Universal
never been into
Monsters.
the whole black and white shit.
All right. So if you haven't seen this movie, you need to. It's Andy Warhol's Frankenstein.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool. He did like an art movie.
Yeah, I'm not a big. I
art
think
Frankenstein film.
Andy Warhol was overly fucking pretentious.
Exactly.
That's why the movie's cool. All right. So these ones you guys should definitely fucking get.
Starman?
No.
Is that in the fucking ocean?
Yeah.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
No.
Leviathan?
Yes. Phil.
That's on Phil.
Yep.
That's on Phil.
I was gonna say Leviathan, but I didn't get to my audio in time.
Damn, aren't you find any other? Where's the 80s ashes you were gonna buy on VHS?
I have some, but there's some of them are so obscure, dude.
He pretty much went, well, Craig knows 80s.
Just read the side of the VHS tape before he shows the front.
This may be the easiest or the hardest one you're gonna see today.
Alien.
No. Forgot what I was pointing for a second.
Did you have to double check that?
Aliens.
Fuck.
I said alien because he was looking. While he was looking, you could see the side of it.
I know.
I love Larry just out.
I need to figure out what I'm gonna hold up so I can cover shit up.
So I got seen it. That's how I knew it.
I didn't see the S.
Yeah. All right.
Is that all there?
That's all I had. That was all 8.
Okay, so we failed Elizabeth. That's yes.
Yes.
However, Glog,
yo,
that could make for an interesting segment. And this is if you could pick like a few legit like horror movie covers and remove the name. And like
I can do that. Like, yeah, I can just like totally like, and then flash it up on the screen.
You know how to do your shit, so that could be fun for us in the chat to play. Like you take some, they don't have to be super well known, but maybe we don't go with super obscure either. But I think that could be fun. I think Darren's onto something there.
Tinker with something like that.
So Darren, why don't you read the next movie?
All right, so I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Oh no!
I couldn't find it.
I gave you instructions.
I know, but you know me. I'm gonna pay for that shit for 6 months. That shit'll never get canceled. I didn't see it, but I watched the trailer.
Oh, can you mute his microphone, Gog, and Barry?
I'm sorry, Craig. I tried to watch it. I tried updating my Cinema HD for it. I even looked on Amazon, shit like that.
You didn't look on Amazon. It was on Amazon. That's where Barry found it.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna pay for it.
You don't have to. You get a free trial and just cancel it right after you watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. I have Amazon Prime. I tried finding on there. I couldn't.
No,
yes, I have Prime.
The IFC Amazon.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, fuck.
You go to Amazon. You go to Amazon.
I wasn't gonna do all that.
But you get
hold on.
a free trial.
I gotta say this. You go to Amazon. In the search box, you type Spiderhole. Hit enter. It pops up and says, "Could watch for 7-day free trial to IFC." Enter. That's all you gotta do. It's okay though. Larry, why don't you? What's your thoughts?
Okay, so Spiderhole. It is I'm pretty sure it's a UK film. When I first heard of Spiderhole, I think of spiders. So then I watched the movie, it starts off with a group of pretty much, I guess you say homeless or wannabe homeless teenagers / college kids, whatever.
Yeah.
They decide they're going to go do the old-fashioned way of what do you call it? Squatting. So they found an old abandoned, or they tried to find a building first and they couldn't get in. Then they found this house. They're gonna go squat in it. So pretty much the old-fashioned way, you go in, you sit there, you pretty much put a sign on the door saying, "Make me get out." you have to show me proof that you own this. And most of the time, if it's an old abandoned building, old as hell, the people don't even care about the shit, much less have to pay for a lawyer and all this stuff to get your ass out. And once you live for so long, you pretty much own it. But so the building they went into ended up being not what they expected. It was connected to an actual, like, I guess, an apartment building, and a guy had made a spider hole, which means a hole going from his apartment building into that abandoned building, where he liked to trap them after they got in. I guess they never really showed, but I guess there's one point they're there at night, they fall asleep, and when they wake up, all the doors, windows, everything are totally stilled, they're still everywhere, just covering all the doors. But and the only reason I'm thinking gas, because a lot of during the movie, he'll gas them to put them down while he wants to go walk around doing something. And it's really just a big, I don't know what he is. He's a psycho old doctor or something, and he likes to then, fuck with them, kind of like Saw. He'll pick them off one by one, and then do experiments on them, cut their legs off, do random stuff. And so it's kind of like, it's like a UK haunted horror house / Saw / fucking psycho fucking guy that likes to slowly torture people until he decides to just take them and go ahead and do whatever he wants.
Well, the one thing I saw that they do, they compare it to Saw and Hostel, and I don't know if that's completely fair, because it's more slasher to me than Saw Hostel. Because yes, the only Saw Hostel thing is like the method of killing, but these guys, they break into the house, squad its lights, and it's like a thing. It's like, hey, we'll crash here, and then we can see this country for summer or whatever. It'll be great. And then they party, and they all pass out, lose track of time, and they would gas. They didn't show it the first time, but they showed it the other time, so you get the idea. And they went to the doors, like you said. Just imagine the sheer terror in that. Like, you break in the house, you're where you think you're going to be, and then all of a sudden, there's no escape. There's no way out. And this guy, one by one, picks you off and kills you. You're right, he does scientific experimentation, but it's not done for the hostile way. He's doing it like a medical doctor almost, and trying to fix something and figure out something, because there is another subplot running about a missing girl.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally, I like this movie a lot, and I'm not giving a score or anything yet, because I think if you can have a movie that is enjoyable and builds suspense with only a handful of actual actors, because what were there, 6 actual actors you ever saw on screen? Other than what people knew on the TV you saw the 4 main one, the guy, and then the other girl in the room. I thought they built it well, and I don't put it with torture porn. And I don't mind some torture porn. Like Saw, I like the original Saw. I think anyone who says the original Saw wasn't a good movie isn't being fair, because it was done really well. Hostel, yeah, maybe that was a little bit much. But for a movie that no one... What do you think of this statement, Larry? And I can't ask Darren because he had a chance to see it. Don't you think the movie deserves to be known a little bit better than it is? Or do you think or do you disagree with that?
No, I think it actually should be known. It's a good movie. It's not like crap at all. I think it might be known more around, UK. I think it's because it's in America we might not know it as much, because it's more of a, I guess, IFC independent film, but it's also a UK independent film. But like beginning of the movie, so I'm thinking of the squatting. Okay, you're squatting. Well, then when everything starts going wrong, like they're going down, checking, breakers, water, it shows like sludge and shit coming from the pipes. So at first, I'm thinking it's like a haunted fucking house, like the house is doing it. for the first half of the movie, I thought it was the house was actually killing them, until come to find out it's just some weirdo. So I had a lot of different like takes on the movie, like because it kept changing what I thought it was. And I mean, I liked the movie, and it was definitely entertaining. The ending, the part that threw away the whole movie for me was the ending, because I thought so much of it in the ending. I'm like, that's it.
I tell you, I went back. I did something on my YouTube channel 2 years ago where I did like a horror movie a day for the month of October or something. And this was the first movie, because I wanted to see what I gave it back then. Like, and this was the first movie I reviewed in that sequence. And I said pretty much what you just said. Like, the ending, if it ended like 2 minutes earlier, like I would have had a much different interpretation of the movie than it had. Then, like, because, you know, we could give the spoiler. There's a, you've seen on the news channel a couple of times about a missing girl. It turns out this doctor had kidnapped her and had her trapped in his house. And when the girl goes to save the missing girl pretty much attacks and like kills her, right? I mean, at least that's what you took from it. Like, so it pretty much, if not for that final 2 minutes, I would have seen it as a lot better film, sort of an escape, and then she helped her escape. Like, that could have been cool. The fact that they did that is definitely the definition of doing a twist just to do a twist. You know, like sometimes twists make a lot of sense. Sometimes it's like that. What did you do?
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Just because the more and more you're talking about, I think I've seen it. So, is there like an entrance and an access point through like a van, like a window of a van?
No.
That goes into this house like structure?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen another one that's very similar to the premise of this movie, and I was trying to come up with a name, and I thought maybe it was that, but
No, it was. This is a movie that, truthfully for me, I found back when I saw it. It was on Prime, and I like all of us do. Like, I ferociously seek out movies I don't know, and like if I check out a little bit of the blurb and I like it, I watch it and like, you know, I give it a go. I've become a little more selective the past few years because they're really amping up the schlock that you see sometimes on Prime and even Tubi and all that. But, you know, I believe in trying to give everything a fair shake, and then you realize how much there is, so it's a little bit tougher to do that.
Yeah.
You know, but I thought, you want to give it a review, Barry? You want to go? Do you want to give it some numbers, right?
Yeah. So I give Spiderhole a 6.
You're a 6.
And the only reason it is a 6, because actually I probably would have had it more of a 7, but the ending ruined it for me. Plus, I can't stand fucking goddamn UK acting. But still, a 6 is a better than average movie in my opinion, because I watch a lot of fucking movies that I think are, you know, decent, they're good, and I'll give them like a 5. Like, for example, a lot of people like, you know, like the old 80s movies, like say Prowler or fucking
So would I, baby. So would I.
Prowler, in my opinion, though, when you watch it, it's still a 5.
Yeah.
The Mutilator to me is like a 4.
Yeah.
But if they're fucking goddamn, you know, awesome movies, they're called classics. It's just that they're not really that damn good.
No,
this movie's good. It's just that's why I gave it a little higher. It's a 6.5. You know, around there.
No, I agree with that, Blake. Like you just did there, it's 100% true. There were movies that, like Mutilator. I'd rather watch Mutilator again than Spiderhole, but Spiderhole's a better movie.
Exactly.
You know, like, so it's weird that stuff is done that way. I'm going to give this. I originally gave it a 7 back in the day. A couple years later, revisiting, I'm going to drop down a little bit. I'm going to go to 6.5.
There you go.
I would have stayed higher if it wasn't for the fact that ending. That ending, when I initially reviewed it, it didn't bother me as much. It just bothered me. But the more I think about it, the more completely unnecessary. But one interesting tidbit about it, which sometimes makes things harder to execute, but this time it worked out. The person who wrote it also directed it.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes that can be a big clusterfuck, and sometimes that can turn into like a gem. And I think it was more on the positive side.
Yeah.
To anyone hearing it, I recommend seeing it. I will buy the. I actually might own. I think I might. If it exists on Blu-ray, I bought it. I got to check into that, see if it exists. But because whenever I saw a movie I liked, or whenever I see watch a movie I like, if there's a Blu-ray of it and it's not insanely priced, I'll pick it up. That's what I call. That's what Phil's bestowed upon me.
Yep.
So you want to rate the trailer, Darren?
I would rather rate it based on since I saw the trailer and saw you guys kind of broke it down a little bit. I do want to watch it.
It's worth checking out. And if
I just don't want to pay. I don't pay for. You guys know that I won't pay for a movie unless I'm going to the movies.
I'm with you. But do the IFC trial. Like I might do the IFC trial just because Larry mentioned he already saw another pretty cool ass movie. So it's like if there's
the problem is I already have Comet TV. I have Shudder. I have Amazon Prime. I have Netflix. I have
Well, Comet is free.
Like I'm paying for all these. There's at least 5 services I'm already paying for. It's like.
Yeah, but you pay for it for different reasons. Like if you pay for Hulu, you're paying for like regular TV. You don't watch TV though. Like I don't have cable in my house. Like we only do. But that's what Hulu is for, to keep up on regular TV shows mainly. I mean, I know it has its catalog, but people that have Hulu have it so they keep up with regular TV without having a subscription to like cable or something.
Yeah.
Like the other ones though, like Amazon Prime. I have Amazon Prime. You know why I have it? Because I order a lot of my cat supplies from there, and like they don't have to charge shipping on giant things of cat litter. So it's like it pays for itself in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I recommend all the services. But that said, we had some good flicks today. Spiderhole. It's weird the way we did it. Like, I'm glad we went strong with Labyrinth first and then Perks, because Spiderhole wasn't going to fit in anywhere when you compare it to the gems that the other two are. But I think we had 3 solid flicks for today, and I'm anxious, Blog and Larry, to hear about next week's show.
Yep.
All right. So, Grog, you want me to go first, or you want to go? Okay. So, for the next week, for the next show, I picked 2 movies, and I picked 1 challenge. First off, we are going to pick the 1984 movie that Craig has seen before, but Darren has not. Silent Madness.
What?
Gotta watch it on YouTube.
Yep, it's on YouTube.
I can't find it on.
Is it 84 or 83?
It's 84.
Silent Madness.
That's what Wikipedia said.
Oh man, it is a fun.
Yeah.
I can't, and it doesn't exist. Or it might not even exist. It doesn't exist on DVD.
So
I have to find it on VHS.
Me and Craig both found this the same way, randomly fucking on YouTube. And Silent Madness, here you go right here. But yeah, it is a fucking badass little movie. Darren, you'll have fun watching it.
It looks fun.
Next, I'm picking the 1986 classic, in my opinion, Hunter's Blood.
Ooh, I don't think I've seen that either.
I gotta see. You can put up the cover, Glock.
Yep.
I gotta see the cover to see if I saw this.
Ooh, it looks like after Deliverance comes Hunter's Blood. Actually, I've heard of it.
The ultimate test of survival.
It is also on YouTube, so it's easy to fucking find and watch.
Okay. It's like an old It's like an old version of surviving the game.
Exactly. Pretty much, you're hunters, and there's people out to kill you. You go from being hunters to being the hunted.
Come on, what are the odds?
Yeah.
Shit. They actually sound like really good movies. I'm excited.
And then next is our challenge for the next episode, and it is
I forgot. But didn't announce my movie yet.
Okay, well, Brock wants to pick his own movie, so I'm going to start the movie of the week.
So there's a couple of movies I had in mind, but this one movie I remember seeing when I was a kid. It was kind of fucked up. And that movie is an adaptation of H.G. Wells's Food of the Gods.
What is it?
The Food of the Gods.
I've never seen that. I've heard of it.
Have you ever heard of it, Craig?
Food of the Gods.
I think I heard of it in Eric talking about it, but I don't know it. Does this deal with like?
It's like with animals that turn giant and they start like eating people.
Oh, I'm in my head. I'm like dealing with the mythology of it. I'm like, hey, does this deal with like Canthorus taking the food and the ambrosia, and are we gonna talk about polyphemus?
Oh, look at that.
I got you. I'll check it out. Now, did you do the YouTube test? Because that looks pretty obscure.
The what?
The YouTube test. It's on YouTube. Okay. Is it?
Oh, I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
I can find a way to get it, though.
As long as it can be seen somewhere.
You know what? I do have it. I think I do have it. I got to go through all my discs though, and within the next week or so, if I find it, I'll throw it up on the server. And Craig, you got to accept that so you can get on there, and then you'll be able to watch it.
Yeah, well, I haven't accepted it yet because.
Do it, man. It's good. I go on it at work, dude, and listen to it as a podcast and watch a movie with my headphones in while I work.
Don't admit to that.
Why?
Because a woman's getting sued for like $6 million watching Friends.
Yeah.
I mean, she guys.
Yeah, but I got my job.
But she did watch Friends. 54 hours in 4 days.
What is that?
54 episodes in 4 days.
All right. So next episode we have Silent Madness, Hunter's Blood, and The Food of the Gods for our 3 movies to review. And then last we have our challenge, which could be really fucking horrible. So it is called the Toe of Satan Challenge. So this is a sucker that we will all buy, and it is 9 million Scoville units. So the actual challenge is you stick the sucker in your mouth and you hold it for 5 minutes. However, our challenge will be just the last one fucking goddamn left wins. So the winner of this challenge could actually win in 30 seconds. And it's going to have to be towards the end of the show because we're going to be fucking, our mouths are going to be in pain.
Can I recommend a stipulation to it? Just because I've seen a bunch of people doing it on YouTube.
What?
The guys that have been lasting the longest is because they keep it just on their tongue with their mouth open. Like, you have to close your mouth around it fully, right?
Yeah, but you can stick it in your mouth anywhere you want.
Yeah, but you have to have your mouth closed on it.
I recommend sticking it on your tongue because I've seen the guys stick it on the side of their mouth and it's going to be worse because that's thinner skin. It's going to burn fucking a whole lot faster.
Yeah, it's okay, Cemetery or Travis. I don't think I think
I'm fucking scared, dude.
Well, and now since Glog picked the movie episode, he has to do this challenge.
I can't.
Well. He can't.
Can't.
My doctor wouldn't recommend it for me either.
I physically can't because of the surgery.
Recommend that to somebody.
No, there's heart issues this way. No, I'm in. I told that.
Yeah, I mean, literally none of us are going to last 5 minutes anyways, which is actually a challenge. Nobody on fucking line hardly lasts 5 minutes. One out fucking a couple hundred.
I do disagree with your take, though.
What?
I think it's going to be, and I say this purely for the entertainment, and I think it's more interesting to our audience. I don't think we do it at the end of the show. I think we do it maybe right after the first movie. So they can see us suffer. Just like they saw us suffering when we were drunk.
You literally
want to see that.
Dude, there's no way you want to do that and try to survive another hour and a half of doing a show. I would do it halfway.
No.
Oh no, halfway through. The halfway through is fine. I'm just saying I don't want to, I don't want to do it like in the last 20 minutes either.
Okay.
Because I don't think they get it dead. I want us to have to do stuff after and try to get through it.
Well, all I know is I'm getting a half carton of fucking vanilla bean ice cream and
yeah, I'm like, well, yeah.
Make sure you have a trash can next to you because you're literally that shit's gonna be pouring out of your mouth, slobber, just fucking falling. It's gonna be so fucking hot.
God damn.
9 million Scoville units. It's fucking crazy.
Wow, you're a mean human being. When are we doing this next episode?
Okay.
2 weeks? 3 weeks?
I'll have to look at, my daughter's playing volleyball now on Saturdays, and so when we're out of town, like today she was in town and she had 2 games, but they were both by 10:30 in the morning. But like in the next couple of weeks, we'll have to go out of town and she has games at like 6:30 at night. So I'll have to look at the schedule and figure it around there.
Steve has an interesting take on a new way that you guys can do the challenge.
Put in our poot holes.
But I mean, Steve could put.
It would get rid of those hemorrhoids.
Steve could put it in his poot hole.
I need something to blast that motherfucker off because nothing else is working. So I think it'll definitely be an interesting episode next time. So we'll let you guys know. We'll figure it out. We just got to see Larry's daughter's schedule for her sports, and we'll get back to you guys.
Hey, I can go look right now if you want. Give me 1 second. I can bring the schedule.
Oh, okay. Well, let us know. Might as well. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was a good pace. I thought we're really coming into our own with our new style. And thank you again, Grog, for producing and engineering the show. You did a fantastic job. There was no hiccups at all, which was awesome. I really like the fact that when we're talking about a movie and the things we're doing, Grog's able to throw it up on the screen and have you guys see what we're talking about, be able to play the movie or our episode skit type things. Really interesting. I'm really happy with the direction that the show is going and the style and the way we've been doing it. So we hope you guys enjoyed it.
Okay, so 3 weeks would be the 14th. I can't do it the 14th. She has a game at 6:30 p.m. The next week, which would be 4 weeks from now, which would be the 21st, she has one game. It's at 2:45. So I should be able to be home by.
Why does it have to be 3-4 weeks out?
Yeah, what about 2 weeks
out?
2 weeks out. In 2 weeks, September 7th, she has one game at 12:30. So I'll be home by 1, way before the show.
2 weeks to that. Make sure, fellas, we order.
What day is that, Larry?
Saturday, September 7th.
Saturday, September 7th.
I can't do 3 weeks, but I can do 2 weeks.
Okay, I know there's going to be, coming up in September, it's going to probably be either the 14th or the 21st. I will not be around.
No, 7th then.
Wine grapes are coming up, so the 7th will probably be good.
Yeah,
if something comes up, just let us know, man. That's all.
Yeah.
We're flexible.
We're planning on 2 weeks from today, the 7th, and y'all guys just make sure y'all get on there now and order your fucking toe of Satan so you'll have it in time. It's only
You guys, please in the chat do your toe Satans. That shit will be funny as hell because we'll all be dying together.
I'm just anticipating the heartburn.
If you wanna do your own toe of Satan, make your own video and send it to us, and we'll play it on the show.
Oh yeah, you should totally do that. That'll be fun. Good. I didn't listen at all.
It was a good show. Fucking appreciate everybody that watched. Make sure before y'all do leave, go give us a thumbs up if you have not yet.
Yes.
Just in case, too, because I want to protect us. Regarding doing the challenge, if you're under 18, please seek parental permission before endeavoring and such. Just in case.
No, there's 13-year-old kids on the internet doing it. And
Yeah, but we could get sued for telling them to do it for our show. Seek parental permission.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, that's all. Seek parental permission.
All right, guys. Well, we want to thank you again. Have a great rest of your night. And we will see you guys on our next episode, September 7th. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.